Thanks for joining me, Ron. This is awesome.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to welcome everybody to Matt on the Market. This is another one of our editions where we're going to talk to a local professional in the real estate industry. And today we have Ron O'Connor, the owner and founder of O'Connor Builders. He comes to us all the way from the south side of Valparaiso. So thanks for traveling in. We've got about 9 inches of snow on the ground today, so it's nice that Ron came in and still joined us for this segment. But today we're going to talk to Ron. We're going to find out a little bit more about him and also find a little bit about what's going on in the building industry in the Valparaiso and Porter County area, because he covers a lot of different areas and has built, several different locations. So Ron, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So why don't you start by just, telling us a little bit about yourself and your background.
I got started back in the late 80s and went into doing decks, garages, pole barns, and then transferred into framing and then got into building houses generally. And still we have a crew that frames our own houses today.
Nice. So it's good to have that control over your own crews and
Yes.
still have that stuff in-house.
Yes,
That's
helps
great.
out sometimes.
That's great. You grew up in the area, you went to, what is it, Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan Township.
Okay,
Yeah.
So a local guy from Morgan Township. Definitely where we have a shortage of homes, so if you can figure out how to quickly put in a 100 home subdivision, that'd be great. I know that's not your niche, but you're not the developer side, you're mainly the builder side,
Correct.
right?
Yes, correct.
So design as well, design build?
Yes, we have a couple architects that work with us, and so that helps, try to keep those things going, because everything we do is pretty much custom made.
Nice.
So it takes a little time to get those kind of things worked out. So, yeah.
So people can come to you either with their own plans or an idea in mind, and you can take them and help them develop it?
Correct. Yes, we can do that. We help them draw their own plans, or they can just bring us ones. It doesn't matter.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people today want some customization, or a lot of the lots you build on might require customization, right? Due to
Correct.
topography or other things.
Yes. A lot of as lots get slimmer and slimmer to find, it's making you're using up some of the bad lots, or
Yeah.
having to find the ones that are challenged, sloped or pipelines or whatever may be on them.
Sure.
And so we work around that a lot more now, or longer driveways, things like that.
What things got you into building? Like, kind of what drew you into the building industry? Was it family related or otherwise?
Well, my uncle was a builder down in Couts, and then I got into, I took buildings trades class, and I kind of enjoyed that. And then when I got out, I went to work for a gentleman, and Ralph Affeld, and after about a week of being there, I went to him and I was like, how come I understand this? Or, I get what we're doing here. And
Yeah.
he just told me, he says that this is what you understand. You don't understand mechanics or computers or whatever, you understand building. So he said, don't fight it, that's what your thing is. So we went with that.
That's the way some people get put into it. I talked to a kid the other day in the HVAC industry, and he's like, I needed a job, I applied, it seemed to fit me, and here I am, and I really like what I do. So,
Yes, correct.
And I'm like, hey, if you stick with it, the world definitely needs a lot of good heating and air guys right now. So join in.
Yeah, all the trades are hurting.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can do well in these trades if you, find the one you like, whether it's plumbing, heating, drywall, electrical, whatever.
Yeah.
We have a shortage of trades.
Is that one of your biggest challenges
Yes.
right now?
Yes, besides land.
Land, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but subs can't find help, and that, slows the process down. It's just, a vicious cycle.
Yeah, so it's nice that you're vertically integrated, at least in the framing portion of your business. So that's great. So you grew up in the area, and how much is your familiarity with kind of the local area, the local market, and your ties to myself and other realtors in the area? How critical is that to the success of your business?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, to have your community support you and back you. I mean, back when things were slow in 2010 to 12, we do pole barns, like I mentioned earlier, and a lot of the farming community was doing okay at the time, and so they really helped us out a lot. We did a lot of buildings at that time, and was able to make us survive.
Good, yeah. So those personal relationships, I'm sure, are a big part of your business,
Correct.
just like they are ours.
Yes.
I mean, it's so important that you get personal referrals no matter what you do in our work, but certainly that means a lot to the builders and the realtors to get those referrals, and the lenders too, who are part of it.
Yes.
Title companies, I mean, all the affiliates that we work with. So.
Your reputation is what builds you.
Yeah.
In this anymore, in our industry especially.
Yeah.
Because we don't do a lot of billboard advertising or anything like that.
Yeah. So where's your focus of where you build mainly just due to the demand of the people that you know or refer you? Tell us what towns you're operating in and where your sweet spots are.
We work a lot in Valpo, Porter County. Don't get so much up into Port or Township or anything. That and LaPorte County.
Okay.
Do a lot over in those, but a lot of out county builds. We don't get into a whole lot of subdivisions.
Right.
But once again, we'll build where somebody wants to go.
And you also build, you're known for building on larger, more rural lots, right?
Correct. Yeah, we get a lot of
County
those.
roads.
Yeah, for some reason, that's just what we get a lot of is
Okay.
out county builds that are on long lanes and so forth. So, which is once again part of the challenges, but we're used to that, so
Yeah.
it makes it a little easier to when these things come to us that no, we're familiar with that.
Yeah, that's good. Tell me about what your sets you and your company apart from the rest. You know, O'Connor Builders. You know, how do you think that? What do you think your strengths are?
Well, I started business myself. I developed the program of what we use. My brother works with me very closely. He runs the crew and does a lot of the project management, so he can come in and do that in the future. So I'm a very mellow person. So we are very, very calm, very collective about working with folks.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got different personalities, so you got to really just hone into them. And we're just very personable about what we want to get done. We want to build a correct home.
That's key. And I, as much as I've known you, I know that you're a really good listener, and that's part of getting along with people too, and working with them is listening, but also, telling them your opinion as an expert on what they should be looking at too. What to consider in the home design, what's thoughtful, what other people have run into, and I'm sure you're good at doing that too when you need to.
Yeah, like you said, you got to listen to the people because each of them is different in how they want to react or how they're going to do things or what their needs are. And sometimes they don't know how to translate that to you. So you got to kind of get it out of them a little bit and then present it back to them and try and organize it all. Yeah.
Nice. Are you seeing some shortages in building supply materials and things, and what's happened in cost recently? Because I've heard a lot of things, and actually I do a little bit of my own house renovation on my own place, and I've seen prices change quite a bit. So what have you seen as we enter 2021 here?
Now the prices of lumber did jump a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and even all the PVC and all the different trades and even getting product has gotten very hard. So it has become a huge challenge, and in that term, it just drags out the length of the process of building, and it just is taking longer to build, and that's where we got to learn patience.
Yeah, that's true.
It just can't be done overnight.
So concrete, I think, went up as well. Drywall has had its peaks and valleys, right? It seems like a lot of this stuff doesn't really tie to a whole lot of things other than, a lot of COVID blame, right?
COVID blame or
As we
supply
went
and
through last
demand, they
year.
say, yeah.
So you had maybe some mill issues with getting lumber out of Canada and other things and things like that. But it seems like it may level off. I mean, is the prediction that some of that craziness may go away as we get toward the end of the year, maybe?
I talked to a couple of different suppliers, and they say that it could be midsummer before we see much of a reduction on the OSB. And
Okay.
dimensional lumber has come down some, so it has made a little recovery, but it's still a mystery. We just don't know.
Yeah. So I understand that you have quite a bit of backlog in your building right now, but you should start to blaze through that as the weather improves and you can start to break ground. I know you've got a couple closings happening soon, but tell us the general dynamics of what you're seeing right now. It's good demand, right? Really good demand.
Very good demand. We are very blessed to be busy and as fortunate as we are with all the homes that we have and the great customers. But it kind of scares me about where this whole market's going to, just the pure cost.
Sure.
Is it gonna get to a point where it just isn't feasible?
Right. I don't think on the fringes where you're building we've seen land costs go too crazy, but they certainly have gone up.
Yes.
But as we get downtown here into downtown Valpo, downtown Chesterton, and that we've certainly seen land costs go up. And I would say that at major intersections, more commercial type spaces, we've seen land go up quite a bit. But I still think overall, if somebody's looking for a 10, 20, 30, 40 acre piece of ground, they can find it.
Yeah.
They're going to pay market rates right now due to the demand, but they're not untouchable, and that's nice. So I think it's the people, from my experience, Ron, that are looking for the 1, 2, 3, 4 acre kind of pieces that are just few and far between, aren't they? So you can search hard.
There just hasn't been any new subdivisions put in for quite a while, and you got a couple of new ones, but once again, it's just finding those 1, 2 acre lots is very hard, and most people don't want to afford, spend out and
Yeah.
maintain a big lot.
Yeah.
Those are easier to develop. So
It's a development
it's
cost
a development.
too, going
It's-
up,
yes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So putting the roads in, putting any power in and stuff like that, it just takes a lot more money
Correct.
these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Ron, that some of your greatest challenges in building are right now? We talked a little bit about the costs going up. What would you say some of the other things are? Anything coming in the way of energy, requirements, or are people looking more at green energy that you're dealing with, or different technologies that are coming in? What do you say your biggest challenges are right now?
It's really just the whole lumber market as far as bidding and finding subcontractors, finding workers. That's what slows the project down.
Yeah.
The cost of things keep going up, but that's not, that's expected. The land is the hard part to find, and just be able to supply that for the customers in the location they want to be, especially because of school districts.
Yeah. That's our job, to help you find land, help your clients find land. Because I know a lot of times, as realtors, we're able to work with builders and refer clients your way, but I would say the most frustrating thing for us too has been finding enough land for these guys to build on. And then it's their job to find enough, subcontractors to work with you to get the job done.
Right.
And then it's a time crunch thing. So we're very happy that we're able to work with builders like Ron. I think, in the community, it's critical to have good local builders. And I know that we actually have some national builders that have either already been here, or regional builders that have already been here, already moved in, or some moderate-sized local builders as well. And they're critical to our market too, because you can't satisfy all the demand.
No.
You know that, and nor do you want to. You have your niche and the areas that you want to operate in, and these other companies have the others. So we are seeing a few more builders come to Northwest Indiana. That's what we're seeing in the market. And then just like you mentioned too, we're seeing those prices of those new builds go up a little bit due to the lumber costs, due to the uncertainty in the forecasting and things like that. So
there's a lot of good builders out there.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to do, to get the best product they can.
Yeah.
So, and you got, as you said, the production builders or so forth like that. They're there. They have a need for that. So.
And I'm saying, right now I'm working on an 1890s remodel right now. And I can tell you, certainly the lumber back then was extraordinary. I mean, I'm dealing with those giant 2x4s. They're true, fully dimensional 2x4s, 2 inches by 4 inches. The thing is built really well, but there's some areas that you see in an old home like this that are very different, like balloon framing.
Yes.
Or, the way they hung, a joist on like a 1x4, it looks like, and then they basically nail it into the balloon frame going up. It's just extraordinary to see the differences today in what you do and what I've done in some new construction as well, versus what was done in the past. And energy code is a big thing too, right?
Yeah, the energy code we have to do. We have an energy code that we have to hand in with the beginning of the starting of our home for our permits, and then we also have to do the test, the blower test at the end for how much air is being coming in or going out.
Yeah. How about on the electronics technology side? Are you being forced to learn more than you want to know about smart homes these days and other technology?
We got some very good subs that help us with that.
Good.
That specialize in doing your security, your cameras, sound, so forth like that. So once again, we rely heavily on our subs.
Yeah.
And that's their professional area.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, they're the pros at it, but I think one thing we're seeing is, as realtors, is we're seeing, a lot of Nest type systems or Google, Alexa type systems where, somebody can basically walk into their home or not even be at home on their phone and turn on a light or adjust their AC or whatever. And, we use products like, I put a Honeywell one in mine.
Yeah.
And there's so many brands out there that you can do. And then of course you have camera systems too, right? So it's just a myriad of technology that these guys have had to learn, and as realtors we've had to learn too. So there's really a lot new in home building, and I can say that the biggest thing I notice is just the energy efficiency of these homes.
Yes.
Sometimes you guys are able to make them very tight, which you should, but when we were building out in Colorado, we had to add a makeup air to the house because the house was so tight.
Correct.
So there are times like that where the energy efficiency is just amazing right now, and I think you guys, especially in rural areas, we're already seeing solar power come in as a utility. Delivered solar power is starting to be kind of the big talk of the area here. But I think you're going to see it more and more in homes as it gets down to like shingle technology or window technology, right? Which we're hearing about more and more.
Yeah, I got a customer that's been talking about the shingles that are in that form.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a whole lot of solar as far as brought to our attention.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always changing. It's always interesting. But the whole energy savings or the energy, flow of air.
Right.
You want clean air in your house. So a
Yeah.
lot of it's done by mechanical.
Yeah.
Now instead of just the windows leaking and so forth.
True. Yeah. It's just amazing to see. And then zoned heat was a thing that has obviously been big for the last 15 or 20 years. I think that's made a big difference.
Yeah.
HVAC that cycles. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, you're probably not doing a lot of geotechnical, geo energy from the earth. You're probably not doing a lot of those, and we saw that out west quite a bit. But locally here, I'm sure you're going to see more and more solar technologies. Did you ever do a wind house yet?
No, I have not
Wind
done.
power?
No,
Okay.
not wind. We have done several homes with geo.
Okay. You have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had the geo systems that are in the ground.
Okay, that's what I was talking
The
about.
loop system
Geothermal, yeah.
instead of, and then we did a couple of them that were closed loop also.
Okay.
A lot of heat pumps.
Yeah.
Do some of those.
Very important, I'm sure, these days to save a lot of energy, right? They cut
Right,
the bill
but
quite a
as
bit.
you got to think, as we get better with our insulation practices
Yeah.
and the caulking and the ceiling and so forth like that, and the windows, it's driving that down automatically that way.
Sure.
So unless you have a bigger home, sometimes you don't need that.
Sure.
That's
true.
where the forced air is still okay because they advanced in the other side.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Ron, tell me if there's any other, specific changes you see in land or desires of people lately as you've moved into this, really brisk market for you guys in Northwest Indiana here. What have you seen develop as trends in home building for you?
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of bigger lots, which include having to do longer driveways, deal with the utility companies, so forth like that. Pools have come back again. A lot of people had gotten rid of doing that or stopped doing that, and now it seems to be a big thing with being home more.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, and then wanting larger projects, just bigger parcels, so they can have their space.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing too. I think it's part of it's the lack of supply in existing homes.
Correct.
So they're doing anything they can to find a builder, get a home built, and they just can't find the existing stock out there. Although we do coach them sometimes, hey, we can do this too. We can go find you an older home that needs some renovation. We can have you work with a guy like Ron to renovate that house and make it more modern for you. Add on a full addition if you need it, if it's just not the right home. But man, if you like the land, you like the 20 acres it's sitting on,
That's right.
Go get it, right?
Right.
There might already be a well in place, and there might be,
Correct.
obviously power to the house already that you can use.
Yeah, no, it's our area. We're living in a great area.
Yeah.
We've been very fortunate here that we're getting so many people that want to come to the area. The town is very nice. We just got a great community.
Yeah,
and
we
I
do.
think it reflects and everybody sees that.
Yeah, we've seen a tremendous amount of people moving here, thanks to Ron and others who are building out there to help supply the marketplace and continue to make it a better place, more efficient homes, on sometimes on bigger pieces of land. We need a good, breadth of supply, and we're happy that you're here and doing that. And thanks for supporting the community.
Oh, no
And
problem.
serving. I know it gives back to you, and you give back to it. And I think it's critical to have good people like you out there working. So
Yeah,
thanks.
just enjoy the community.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, everyone, this has been another Matt on the Market, and we've been here with Ron O'Connor today from O'Connor Builders. I'd like to thank you for joining us. We'll see you again on the next show, and have a great rest of your winter, and we'll see you as we get towards spring here.